Hello, fantastic first graders. Today is day 4 of your lesson in literacy. I am presenting the main idea. My name is Miss Bailey, and I am from George Mason Elementary School. Welcome to your lesson today. What are we learning and why? Well, our SOL for this week, the student will read and demonstrate comprehension of a variety of nonfiction texts, identifying the main idea. Some essential questions that we should be able to answer after our 2 days of main idea. Why is it important for the reader to identify and understand the main idea of a text? What is the main thing that the author wants you to learn? But today, first grade, we are only going to focus on our SLO, which is I can identify the main idea in a paragraph and short selection. What do I need for today's lesson? Well, if you're already watching me, you are definitely on a computer, tablet, or cell phone. You're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil. You're going to need a fantabulous first grade brain, and you are going to need your listening ears. What is the main idea anyway? Well, let's take a look at this poster, my friends. The main idea is what a text is mostly about. Repeat that after me. The main idea is what a text is mostly about. So when we are identifying the main idea in a text or in a picture, we look at the title, and then we also can look at the pictures that are in the book. Sometimes the main idea is in the first and last sentence, and then we also look for clue words that repeat themselves over and over and over again. The main idea can be found in a text. I have a book here, one of my favorite books, in Orange in January, but we can also look at one picture to try to find out what the main idea is as well. Let's get some practice in on the next slide. My stomach just started growling. Did anybody else's? Whew. Look at these items here. Look at this. We have some green grapes, an orange, a piece of watermelon, some ripe bananas, and a delicious red apple. If we look at this picture, what is the main idea? Is it shoes? Is it fruit? Or is it pets? Wait, what was that you said? Did you say fruit? Kiss your brains because they worked. Mwah. So now we get to give our brain a chance to figure out everything that we have loaded thus far by looking at our text for today. Jade's Trip Around Town, a book about community helpers. We have 3 questions that we need to answer before we can move on, because we need to identify what type of text this is. Is it fiction or nonfiction? Well, I remember teaching my first graders that fiction means fake and nonfiction means not fake. Non, N-O-N, is a prefix for the word not. So when I look at the people on the front cover of this story, are these people real or are they not real? If you said real, kiss your brains again because it worked. We know that this text is nonfiction because we can see these people outside in our communities. We can see these people around town. So let's front load some information that we're going to come across that we may not know. When you front load first grade, you take your background knowledge of what is already in your brain, what you have already been exposed to, and then we add it to our purpose for reading. Now, we're going to identify some words that we're going to see in our text, but we might not know the meaning of them. And for that, that's the reason why front loading is important. We may not know the word, we may not know the meaning, but if we look at a picture, it's going to help us retain the information and definitely help us retain the vocabulary that we're studying. So this, everybody, is going to require you to pull out your thinking cap. Let's go ahead and put it on and screw it on down, and let's get ready to roll. Town. A town is an area with a high population, meaning that it has a lot of people that live inside of it. Let's take a look. This definitely looks like a town that can hold a lot of people. Community, a place where people live, work, and play. Wow, look at this busy community, everybody. We have City Hall, we have community services, we have a rec center, we have other businesses. I see a hospital, I see a school, and I see places where different families can live. This is a busy community. I see people living, I see people working, and I see people playing. Sports, an activity that requires lots of movement and working with a team. And here we have different materials that are used for sports. We have the soccer ball, basketball, a football, a volleyball, golf ball, baseball, and tennis ball. Healthy, being full of good health. Wow, everybody, look at this gentleman here. He is surrounded by lots of fruits and vegetables that help our bodies grow strong, our muscles get big, but most importantly, eating healthy feeds our brain, and we need healthy brains to get to second grade. Now we're going to read these sight words together. And if you're from Ms. Bailey's class at George Mason, you know anytime you see eyes, these are words that we should be able to read right on sight. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So, to, there, were, find. Let's read them again. So, to, there, were, find. Okay, friends, cross-curriculum vocabulary. Here we have 3 words that we are going to see in our text today, but they could possibly be found in another subject. So what subjects do we already do in school? We do language arts, we do math, we have science, and we have social science. Where would these 3 words fall? Safe, doctor, helper. Again, safe, doctor, helper. In which 2 subjects could we be able to see these words? If you get social science, you are correct. Now is the fun part. We get to read. Let's get ready. Today is Jade's trip around town. Jade's trip around town, a book about community helpers. Today was a big day for Jade. What happened to Jade today? Jade walked around town. She met many community helpers. Jade went to the library. There were so many books. A librarian helped Jade find books to read. Jade picked books about sports. Then Jade walked through the park. She met a police officer. Police officers keep people safe. Jade passed a mail carrier. The mail carrier was bringing people their mail. Finally, Jade went to the doctor. The doctor made sure Jade was healthy. Jade met so many new people from her community today. Have you ever met a community helper? I let you share that answer right now with a caring adult or sibling that may be around. Have you ever met a community helper? We have a picture of our front cover, Jade's Trip Around Town, a book about community helpers. And the front cover should help us identify the main idea. Remember, today we are only identifying just the main idea. So if we think back to what this text was mostly about, this will be the time now that you write it down on your piece of paper. Now, in Ms. Bailey's class, we know that first graders, they are working super hard to become fantastic readers and fantastic writers. So I'm going to give you 3 options on what you can do to show me the main idea on your piece of paper. You can write a sentence on what you thought the main idea is. You can draw a picture of what you think the main idea is. Or you can write down some words, that's going to be number 3, that help you identify the main idea. It's okay if you spell some words wrong. We're only in first grade. We have time to improve. But what I do want you to use is your brain, your thinking cap, and I want you to use smart spelling. Smart spelling is when we hear the sounds in words and we match those sounds to the letters that we know from the alphabet. So I'm going to give you an opportunity right now to identify the main idea of Jay's trip around town. Don't forget to look at the front cover if you need to help you out. And also, parents, this book came from Epic. And if you need to go back to review from the story, you can go to the Epic website, type in Jay's trip around town, and it will pop right on up. All right, first grade, let's see what we know. Time for you to show me. What was the main idea of Jay's trip around town? Well, I have community helpers have jobs around town, but I'm also wondering what you have. And if your answer looks something like Ms. Bailey's, kiss your brain again because it's just simply working nonstop. Nonstop, first grade. Ms. Bailey is so proud of you. So today we are going to stop here because, again, we were only identifying the main idea. Fantastic first graders, you have worked so hard today, but I have to leave something else on your brain. So our reader's response is going to be the following. What kind of community helper would you like to become when you grow up? I want you to draw a picture on a piece of paper, and you're going to ask a caring adult to help you brainstorm why your future job will be important in your community. I can't wait to hear and see your responses, and I will continue on with you tomorrow for day 5, main idea